What's up, guys? Andy again. I'm going to do this video for you guys because it's definitely my most requested video this far. Recently. I've got a lot of questions regarding Broken Knuckle. Do I still ride them? And more specifically, people want to know what my opinions are on the Broken Knuckle tuned trucks. And I apologize, this camera really isn't the best quality. It's just the easiest to film on. It's webcam to the computer, it goes right to my hard drive, and I have a nicer mic, so you guys are gonna have to deal with that. I'll put up a few pictures of the trucks at the end, like a little slide. So getting into it, my first impressions on these trucks is I really like them. I like the looks of them. With the thicker gunmetal spacers, as you guys can see, they look quite a bit better. And they also look, a little more professional with the inverted kingpin screw, which is, indicative to Y trucks, as you can see. And what that means is instead of having a kingpin that comes up and out, this whole screw comes out. The thing I like about this, opposed to the Y trucks, is it's a Phillips head screw opposed to the Torx bit. Feel wise, feeling between these and the regular space trucks, there is a little bit of a difference. The gunmetal spacers that are on there hold the wheels quite a bit better. They hold them really snug, opposed to the other spaced trucks. You still have a little wobble. The reasoning for that is, and I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but on this side where my finger's touching is the new washers. Get it to focus, and it's not going to. And on the bottom is the old spacers. You can see the new ones are actually quite a bit thicker and actually a little bit wider. They, from wheel to wheel, edge to edge, it's actually 32.5 millimeters, opposed to the regular space trucks, which are 32 millimeters. So with the new gunmetal spacers, they are a little bit wider and they are a little bit heavier. You will notice that, especially with the tuned trucks. The kingpin bolt, the screw, makes them a little bit heavier. And which is nice about the tuned trucks with the kingpin bolt is, you see the spacer? It's not falling off. It comes pre-attached. It's pretty much just glued on. It's not like welded or anything on. It is glued on. I'm assuming using super glue. That's what it looked like. And if you want to get a set of regular colored trucks and add the spacers, it's really not hard to glue them on. I did them with these ones, the pink ones, and the black ones. I glued the new gunmetal spacers on pretty nice, and they haven't come off or come loose yet, nor have they on the tuned trucks. So overall, the feel on these is really nice. It is similar to the regular tuned trucks, but like I said, they're a little heavier. And with this kingpin screw, they don't get hung up on certain grinds. When you're doing, certain like Smith grinds, a regular nut, because it sticks up a little bit, gets hung up on the grinds. These kingpin screws have a rounded edge on them. You can feel them hitting, but they don't get hung up, so that is definitely a nice addition to it. As for tuning, the tuning in these are the red tuna bushings, which are, they look like the regular red ones. They're not as translucent, but they are a little bit harder and stiffer. They're a little more responsive. I like super loose trucks. As you can see, it's pretty wobbly. The way I solved that is these only come with a bottom washer. You don't need the top washer. I just took the bottom washer out, and it was plenty loose enough. Or you can leave the bottom washer in and just back the screw out a little bit. And it's super loose and super responsive. I love the red tuna bushings. I also like the black tuna. They're a little stiff, but they're super, super durable. They last forever compared to most other bushings. Like these black tuna bushings I've had for about 2 years now and haven't had an issue. It's actually a red tuna on the bottom and a black tuna on the bottom, or top, sorry. There is one downfall I have to say to these, and I don't know which one I really want to take apart, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, it's not, oh, there's a nut in there, so you guys are beat. Anyways, I was going to take it apart and show you guys. The only problem that I have found with these trucks so far is the hole that goes through the actual hanger. pretty much when you slide or put the screw through the hanger, that hole needs to be widened a little bit because this kingpin screw is a little bit thicker than a regular axle. When you move it back and forth, it would get hung up on the threads on the screw. Now, I know if you just used it enough, it would wear down the threads or wear down the holes naturally, and you wouldn't get that problem. But what I did is I just took a little file to the actual hanger, I took the hanger off, and I widened the hole that the kingpin screw goes through on this hanger just a tiny bit, and then I don't have any problems, and I mean, it feels really great after that. You don't have to do it. It might have just been my set of trucks. It's probably because of the chrome plating makes that hole a little smaller. And like I said, eventually over time of just using it, it would wear that hole out and the kingpin screw a little bit where you wouldn't get that hang up. But I got to say, that's the only issue I've had so far. I would like to see with these one improvement. I would like to see a single axle. These are the traditional 2 different axles that are just pushed in on either end. It's not a single axle like a Black River truck that goes all the way through, and that means over time these axles probably will come loose, which is easy to fix. You know, you just put a little glue in there and push it back in and it stays. I've had to do it before and it lasts quite a bit of time, but I haven't had that problem, and I've thrashed the shit out of these. These are the only set of the Kingpin tune trucks, but I bought 3 new sets of space trucks and a whole bunch of the gunmetal spacers and the lock nuts that go on there as well. And I turned these into a set of tuned trucks basically without the kingpin screw. They have the better, it was just focused. Oh man, that sucks. But they have the better gunmetal spacers, and these have Y trucks lock nuts on them. I just had them laying around, but I do have the broken knuckle lock nuts on here, which are really nice, by the way. The broken knuckle lock nuts, which I got a couple pairs of, as you can see, are really nice. But like I said, I basically turned these into a set of tuned trucks without the kingpin screw, and I've hammered this deck pretty bad. This deck was brand new about a week, actually 9 days ago, and as you can see, it's pretty worn away. All the graphics worn away. It was the Alien graphic deck, and I put stickers over it, but there's no more Alien left on the deck. The trucks are worn down, and I haven't had the axles come loose at all. And I think that is because when you glue the actual spacers on, they're glued not only to the axle, but to the end of the truck, which adds quite a bit of durability to them, so I don't think they're going to come loose anytime soon. So I definitely recommend, if you just buy regular tuned trucks with the lock nuts and the spacers, that you glue the axles on, or glue the spacers onto the axle. And if you guys need to know how to do that, it's definitely pretty easy, and I can make a video on that. You know, just ask, leave a comment down below. But besides that, guys, I'm really digging the new tuned trucks and all the new gear. I love the lock nuts. I think it's like $6 for 6 of them, or $7 for 6 of them, and it's definitely worth it. They're great. Over the past with space trucks, I've had problems with the nuts falling off. Even though you put them on as tight as they can, they eventually loosen out. The new lock nuts aren't going to do that. But if you guys don't want to buy lock nuts, Broken Knuckle does offer on their site thread lock, or you can go to Home Depot and get this stuff, thread locker, and it's really easy to apply. Basically, you see, I'll do it real quick for you guys. There is a lock nut in there. You'd want to put the wheel on first. Get something to wipe it. Have a paper towel. It's a blue liquid that also comes in red. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but just put a little tab on the top of that nut. Flick it a little bit so it gets down into the nut, into the actual threads. You want to wipe the excess off the top so it doesn't get on the bearing when you put this on. And where did I put that fingerboard? And you just screw it on. Remember, don't over tighten these because it could pull the axle out. But that's it, and you'll see a little blue residue coming out from the other side. You just want to dab it off. It's not like super glue, so if it does get into the bearing, it really won't ruin it. It's easy to clean out, but you just want to prevent that before it happens. And I didn't need to do that. These are the lock nuts. These will hold themselves on, but I was just showing you guys how to actually apply thread lock. It's the same thing with the Broken Knuckle thread lock. There's really no difference. So overall, guys, out of like 10, I would give these probably about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I think I would give them a 9 if they had a single axle, but besides that, I really love them. A quick overview, I love that you don't get hung up with these kingpin screws. I love the new spacers. They make the trucks a little wider. They make them feel a little heavier. You know, it's a little more controlled flip, and they hold the wheel a lot better. It feels just like their Black River trucks on there. There's no wheel wobble. There's a little wheel wobble on the regular space trucks. And the bushings that come in these they're not super loose. They're super loose now when you take the washer out, but they're super responsive. So I can have these super loose, and you can see how quick it's snapping back, but they're still super loose. And these red tuna bushings are super durable. So would I recommend you guys buying a pair of these? Definitely. I mean, if you guys don't want to spend $65 on Black River or $55 on the Y trucks, which I love Y trucks, I'm just saying they're $55 fucking dollars, or $40 on the Dynamics. These aren't as nice, but they are a good alternative. And like I said, I've been rocking these for about a week and a half now, going hard on them on this deck, and I haven't had a single problem with them. Like I said, they hold the wheels well. They're actually wider than Black River trucks. I mean, you can see when I put them next to each other, they're quite a bit wider. Black River trucks are only at 31 millimeters, 31 and a half wheel to wheel with these wheels, and these are 32 and a half. They're a whole millimeter bigger. I recommend these for this is a 33.5 deck, and so are these. They fit really well, but with the gunmetal spacers, they also fit on the 32 millimeter deck pretty nice. They overhang just a little bit, but I mean, you really wouldn't notice it. So if you guys are going to buy trucks from Broken Knuckle, I definitely recommend either getting the tune trucks or getting the regular space trucks and getting the new spacers. I mean, it's $1.75 for the spacers, and you don't need lock nuts. Just go out and get the thread lock. I mean, this was like $1.50 at Home Depot, or you can spend, I think it was $3 on the Broken Knuckle website, and they have the purple stuff. That's it, guys. I'm going to put up a few little pictures of them for you, and that's pretty much it.